readers, and welcome to 2023 and our first video book review. I am stoked and I'm excited to tell you about this new book. I sound different because we got sinus here in Texas. We went from not really below freezing. Maybe it did reach below freezing at one point, but we're like in the 70s, 60s now. So that's a problem for people like me. So just ignore the voice. It'll go away eventually. Hopefully not actually go away, but get better. So anyway, let's jump into this. It's going to be an awesome and epic adventure, and I can't wait. So let's do it. Avalanche is written by M. Liz Boyle. This is actually the first of a series called Off the Itinerary, which is super fun. I love that. Book 2, we have Chased, and then book 3 is Ablaze. I'm currently reading Chased right here. I love the cover, by the way. It's so cool. And so far, I am really enjoying this. Avalanche was published September 2019. It has 226 pages, 15 chapters, which I am including the epilogue. So 15 pages per chapter, and the average reading time is 2 hours and 40 minutes. When it comes to genres, we're looking at Christian fiction, YA, which is young adult, contemporary, and adventure. When 15-year-old Marley Stanley joins her two sisters and the sons of their family friends on a secretive hike in the middle of the night, she is thrilled and nervous. Battling her conscience, she prays that the hike will go flawlessly and that they will return to the safety of their campsite before their parents wake. The start of the hike is beautiful and wonderfully memorable. In a white flash so fast that Marley can barely comprehend what has happened, an avalanche crashes into their path. Buried in packed snow, Marley is forced to remember survival tips learned from her dad and her own research. This group of friends, ages 11 through 17, is about to endure bigger challenges than many adults have experienced. Digging out of the packed snow is only the first of many challenges. Injuries, cold, hunger, fatigue, aggressive wildlife, and tensions in the group make this a much bigger adventure than they ever imagined. As the kids strive to exhibit Christian values throughout the trials, they learn numerous life lessons, but they are nearly out of food and their energy is waning quickly. How will they ever reach help? I have been wanting to read this ever since I got it at the massive Black Friday ebook sale that Perry Kirkpatrick hosted. And if you have been with this channel for any amount of time, you may remember I reviewed Red Rover, which is book 1 of her amazing series, Accidental Cases of Emily Abbott. Highly recommend video links there if you want to check it out. It was stupendous. But anyway, I've been wanting to read this forever, and I'm so glad I finally did, and it was fantastic, worth the wait. So this book, I feel, can be broken up into 3 different parts, and I want to go through each of those parts and kind of go from there. So the first part of this book was the adventure, survival elements, a whole lot of that, and that was my favorite aspect of the entire book. It was really a thrilling ride of, survival, going through an avalanche and just getting out of that, then surviving the elements. They had to camp out overnight, in the mountains and everything, which, side note, this book actually takes place in the summer. It's a summer camping trip they're going on with their folks, but it always resonates with me as more of a winter because of the snow. I don't know. So it's really weird. It kind of messes with my mind in that. But I love just the trying to survive and all the things they come up across, which I won't go into all that, but it was just really interesting. And there were so many times when I would gasp or have to set the book down oh no, how are they going to get out of this, Or there was one part especially that I won't go into, but it just made me uncomfortable actually, because I was like, oh my goodness. And I could not wait for the rescue part to come and everything. So if you are a thrill seeker, or if you like mountain hiking and stuff like that, you'll love it. The second main aspect of this was how do they word that? The survival, the tips, more of the how they survived, and mountain guide experience, advice, I don't know, one of those words. But anyway, I actually learned a lot from surviving bear attacks and to first aid medical things. I mean, this isn't actually a guide how to survive in the wilderness. This is not that. But there were enough little things here and there that I was like, oh, that's so cool. Who knew what a bear bag was? I had no idea what a bear bag was, which I have the definition thing right there. So I learned all about that. That particular aspect really stood out because I felt the book had been well researched. The author knew what she was talking about, and then it was fun because then you go read her bio and it's like, oh yeah, she does mountain hiking and stuff like that. So it's like, I love when authors put their own lives into their book, and it makes it so much more real and relatable, and I got to go on an adventure via the characters. The last part was teenage relationships, well, preteen and teen relationships and emotions, which this was my least favorite part. There were some quarrels and strife, which is totally understandable, do not get me wrong. Given the situation, circumstances, definitely there's going to be arguments, disagreements. Before all this, not everybody was on the friendliest, civilest terms. So yeah, I totally get that. It worked. Me personally, I was like, okay, let's get to the adventure and the rescue. That's what I wanted most of. Not so much they're fighting again, and oh no, she's crying again. You know what I mean? There was just too much of that for me. Other points I want to hit on. The Christian elements were very well done. I appreciated that, God was actually, he was relied on heavily. There was a lot of prayer through this, asking him for his protection, for his guidance. And they weren't only asking for things, they were thanking him too. Thank you for, getting us this far and for keeping us safe and for what you have given us. It wasn't all like, poor me. Now, one thing I did forget to mention in my written review was parts of this were kind of redundant a little bit. The main character, Marley, reading through her voice, she was fun, energetic, and a teenager, so, a little crazy. So overall, this was a thrilling adventure, and I very, very much enjoyed it. For the rating, I'm giving Avalanche 4 out of 5 stars. I already kind of mentioned the recommendations a little earlier on, but that's fine. Like I said, if you enjoy mountain adventures, hiking, you'll like this. It was clean. I really appreciated that. If you like YA Christian fiction, this was very good. So yes, and I could see myself rereading this later on down the road, maybe a few years from now, totally. But I'm for sure continuing the series. Like I said, I'm reading book 2 right now, and I went ahead and bought book 3. So if this sounds intriguing to you, I have all the links below. You can check it out on Goodreads and add it to your to-read list. It is available on Amazon and a lot of retailers, Nook, Kobo, all those. So that is going to wrap up this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the new format. I appreciate your feedback. I'm kind of liking it. It takes some getting used to, but it's not bad. So I will see you all, not this coming Friday, but next Friday on the 20th with a brand new review. So until then, happy reading.